Om. The Light of Truth, Part 22, Chapter-11, Examination of the Religions Prevailing in India, Section-5. Sikhism, the sect of Guru Nanak. Question. Guru Nanak has founded a sect in the Punjab. He refuted idol worship and saved many people from embracing Mohammedanism. Moreover, he never became a sadhu and instead remained a householder. He taught the following mantra: He whose name is truth is the maker of the universe, the all-pervading being who is Nirbhav, that is free from fear and enmity, is beyond the reach of time, is never born, and is the all-glorious being. Worship him, O disciple. May your preceptor help you to do it. That Supreme Spirit lived in the beginning of the creation, lives in the present, and shall live in the future. Japji Sahib. Answer. The aim of Guru Nanak was no doubt good, but he did not possess any learning and was merely acquainted with the dialect of the Punjabi villagers among whom he was born. He was quite ignorant of the Vedas and the Shastras and of Sanskrit. Otherwise, why should he have written Nirbhav instead of Nirbhay? Another proof of his ignorance of the Sanskrit language is his composition called Sanskrit hymns, stotras. He wanted to show that he had some pretensions to the knowledge of Sanskrit. But how could one know Sanskrit without learning it? It is possible that he might have passed for a Sanskrit scholar before those ignorant villagers who had never heard a man speak Sanskrit. He could never have done unless he was anxious to gain public applause, fame, and glory. He must have sought after fame, or he would have preached in the language he knew and told the people that he had not read Sanskrit. Since he was a little vain, he may possibly have even resorted to some sort of make-believe to gain reputation and acquire fame. Hence it is that in this book called the Grantha, the Vedas have been praised as well as censured. Because had he not done so, someone might have asked him the meaning of the Vedic mantra, and as he would not have been able to explain it, he would have been lowered in the estimation of the people. Anticipating this difficulty, he from the first denounced the Vedas here and there, but occasionally also spoke well of the Vedas, because had he not done so, the people would have called him a Nastika, that is, the atheist, or a reviler of the Vedas. For instance, it is recorded in the Grantha, even Brahma, who constantly read the Vedas, died. All the four Vedas are mere fiction. The Vedas can never realize the greatness of a sadhu, Sukhamani. Nanak says that a man versed in divine knowledge is himself God, Sukhamani Sahib. It is true, though, that in Nanak's time the Punjab was altogether destitute of Sanskrit learning and was groaning under the tyranny of the Mohammedans. He did save some persons from embracing Mohammedism. Nanak in his lifetime had not had many flowers, nor did his sect flourish much. But it is a habit with the ignorant that they make a saint of their Guru after his death, then invest him with a halo of glory and believe him to be an incarnation of God. Nanak was neither a rich man nor was he one of the aristocracy, and yet his followers have written in Nanak Chandrodaya and Janmasakhi that he was a great saint who possessed miraculous powers, met Brahman and other sages of yore, had long talks with them. All paid him homage on the occasions of his marriage when he went to marry his bride. He had a long procession of horses, carriages, and elephants ornamented with silver, gold, pearls, and diamonds. All this is recorded in the above mentioned books. It is his followers who are to blame for this and not Guru Nanak. After his death, the sect of Udasis originated with his son, while that of Nirmalas with Ramadas, etc. Many a successor to the throne of Nanak have incorporated his writings in the Grantha. The 10th Guru of the Sikhs was Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Since his time, no addition has been made to it, but instead all the smaller books that were extant then were collected together and bound in one volume, and the name of Granth was given to it. The successors of Nanak wrote various treatises. Some of them invented fictitious stories like those of the Puranas, and acting on this precept, the man versed in divine knowledge is himself God, arrogated to themselves divine privileges. Their followers renounced the practice of good works and divine contemplation and instead paid their gurus the homage due to God. Thus has been done a great mischief. It would have been very good had these men kept on worshipping God in the way pointed out by Guru Nanak. Now the Udasis claim to be superior to all others, while the Nirmala make the same claim for themselves. The Akalis and Sutre Shahis hold that they are above all. Guru Gobind Singh Ji was indeed a very brave man among the followers of Guru Nanak. The Mohammedans had opposed his people very much. He was anxious to revenge himself on them, but he had neither the men nor the necessary material for the purpose whilst the Mohammedans were at the zenith of their power. He therefore resorted to a stratagem. He gave it out that the goddess had given him a sword and a blessing, saying, "Go forth and fight against the Mohammedans, you shall win." He gained many supporters from amongst the people. He appointed 5 kakas, that is, 5 articles, all beginning with the letter K, as the signs of his faith, just like 5 makers of the Vama Marga and 5 sanskars of the Chakrankits. The 5 kaks of Sikhs were great use in fighting. They are as follows. 1. Kesha, long unshaven hair. This protects the head to some extent against blows from sticks and sword thrusts. 2. Kangan, a big iron ring worn by Akalis on their turbans. Kada, an iron bangle worn on the wrist which helps to protect the wrist and the head. 3. Kacha, a kind of knickers used in running and jumping, very commonly used by the wrestlers and acrobats for the same purpose. It protects the most vital parts of the body as well as makes the movements free. 4. Karda, a double-edged knife useful in hand-to-hand fight with the enemy. 5. Kangha, a comb for dressing the hair. Guru Gobind Singh, through his wisdom, started the practice of wearing these 5 articles. They were very useful for the time in which he lived, but they are of no use at the present time. It is strange that those things which are required to be used because of their being of a great service in fighting with the enemy have now come to be regarded as part and parcel of the religions of the Sikhs. It is true that they do not practice adultery, but they worship the Grantha even more than idols. Now is not this adultery? Now they, the Dadupanthis, have renounced the teachings of the Vedas and Shastras and taken instead to the muttering of Dadu Ram, which alone is held to be the means of obtaining salvation. It is only in the absence of true teachers that such malpractices come into vogue. It is only a short time ago since the Ram Snehi, lover of Rama. Sect came into existence at Shahpura. They have given up the performance of duties enjoined by the Vedic religion and have instead come to believe that the repeating of the word Rama is a very good thing, is alone leads to the attainment of true knowledge, concentration of mind necessary for divine contemplation and salvation. But it is a pity when hungry they cannot get bread and vegetables by the repetition of this name, as food and drink can only be had from the householders. They also decree idol worship, but have themselves become objects of worship like the idols. They mostly live in the company of women, as Ram can never be happy without Ramki. The Ramcharan sect. There was a sadhu named Ramcharan. He founded a sect at Shahpura. His followers believe the repetition of the word Rama to be the highest mantra and the holiest doctrine. The following is written in one of their books. When a man repeats the name of the Lord, all his doubts are dispelled, diseases afflict him no longer, and the great judge Yama tears his record into pieces, and all his sins are forgiven. Now, let the intelligent reader see how, by the mere repetition of the word Ram, doubts, which is another name for ignorance, can be dispelled. The judgment of the great judge given in accordance with the nature of one's deeds, good and bad, averted or sins forgiven. Such teachings simply tempt men to live in sin and thereby waste their lives. Continued.